Along the track of the tornado, there were many dozens, hundreds probably, of hard and softwood trees that were either uprooted or snapped in several places along the track of the tornado, along with several other buildings along Route 78 that had damage to their roofs or outbuildings along the track. So just to recap, we are confirming an EF2 tornado from an initial touchdown of 10:40 this morning to a final lift off the ground of approximately 10:55, maximum wind speed 115 miles an hour, and a estimated width of 200 yards and a track length of about 10 miles.
So the width, 200 yards, 10 miles.
Right.
Does it seem unusual to have an EF2 around here? Usually it's a 0 or 1.
The majority of them that you would have in most areas would be an EF0 or 1. I wouldn't say it's unheard of at all, no, but it would be far less frequent than an EF0 or an EF1.
I guess there wasn't a lot of warning about the actual tornado warning. I guess there wasn't. Can you speak to how much time people had in the area to kind of get ready for such an extreme event?
The initial warning went out at 10:37 a.m. Based upon what we talked to with people that were actually affected by it. The warnings did come through on their phones, so they were able to take action to protect themselves and their loved ones before the tornado actually struck them.
How amazing is it that EF2 tornado, you said it went for about 10 miles, that there's no reports of anyone being seriously hurt?
Yeah, I think one of the most amazing things of this whole story today is the story of the barn behind us, where not only were none of the people in the home behind us hurt or killed, but none of the livestock was either. And you can just witness the damage that was done to that barn, and it's sort of a miracle.
The fact that it missed, right, the path. I mean, that's kind of incredible that it came from, like, along the lines of what you're saying, that it came from down this way and just missed the house. What's the likelihood of hitting the barn behind it?
Yeah, these sort of things are serendipitous sometimes, and luckily enough, the people in this house did get the warnings on their phone and were able to take cover. So even if the home had been hit, they were in safe keeping.
Did it come from this direction? Because you have damage here, you
Right.
have a fall here, a fall here.
This is basically where the damage started in this general vicinity right here, and then it basically went due east from here down Route 78.
And how much damage is down 78? Earlier we weren't allowed to go down there, but
There's a lot of trees damaged, mostly on the north side of the road, but also some on the south side of the road as well. You can see a couple of places where the tornado actually full-on snapped dozens of trunks of hardwood trees all in the line, basically.
How long is this section of road going to be closed?
This road will be closed probably for about another hour. DOT's just finishing up now, clearing some of the road and some tree removals. So hopefully here within the next hour we'll be able to get the road back open.
Any idea how long Route 78 and the other one you mentioned earlier?
That's the road that will be closed, yeah, for about probably another hour, I would estimate.
Are we dealing with power outages?
There's about 60 power outages in the town of Wethersfield right now. All other power has been restored. Only other outages from that would be if they have to shut something down to make other repairs. But from the storm itself, there's only about 60 out. They're estimating 7 o'clock tonight for restoration for those.
For an EF2 tornado, is there emergency declaration in terms of the damage that was done? How does that work?
We are working with the state, with assemblymen and the senator's offices on the state. We've been in contact with both of them, in communication with our state counterparts as well. So, it's too early to say if there would be any type of financial assistance available, but we'll explore those options and work with them.
will there be an emergency demolition ordered to have the rest of this barn taken down? Like, what is the safety right now?
Right now on the barn, I'm not sure on that. Our building codes department was out and looked at it. We'll follow up with them and see if there's any sort of emergency demolition or if they're okay with the structure as is. They've evaluated the house and they didn't have any concerns about the structural integrity of that house. There's 2 other buildings with some damage, that we're aware of. right now, and there's a couple other reports that we're still following up on damage.
Where's the other reports of the damage?
They're all right along Route 78. A couple of them are just within a couple hundred feet off of 78 on some of the secondary roads. Yep, going out towards Route 19.
I have a question for Mike. Just personally, I was looking at the radar and the velocity scans, and you see on correlation coefficient just that signature debris is involved, but we don't really see a lot in our region. Can you just talk a little bit about that? The player doesn't really see that very often.
Right, yeah, I mean, what you're talking about, sort of a technical thing, oftentimes on radar, there's some of the data that we get that we call dual pole data, and you can see signatures of damaged debris lofting in the air. Luckily enough, where we're standing right now, we're close enough to the radar, being as the radar is just right at the airport in Buffalo, that the beam is not that far off the ground, so it's actually able to detect some of the debris that's lofted in the tornado when that occurs. So, we heard from Brian almost simultaneously with making the decision that we were going to come here, because we had a pretty good idea that we were going to see something like we saw.
From the radar earlier.
Correct.
Not that it's your place, but is there any estimates on damage for the barn, like what that would entail in terms of damage or anything at this point?
I couldn't speak. I don't know.
We don't have a monetary amount on damage right now. They are working with their insurance company, who's going to be out later today to evaluate that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
If anybody asks, it was one of those things that, is it unusual? Yes, it's not.
No, never. But that was the that was going to be my